More news about Emily Ratajkowski that came out yesterday in this book. There's a lot of books out. There's a lot of juicy stuff out. And Katie Couric, by the way, who is not invited to be back on CBS because she did the news anchor and she had some things, was invited to go back on the Today Show. And so she's going to be on the Today Show.
It?
No, to be on to talk about her book.
Oh, well, of course.
And I think you would think that CBS would be smart enough, even though despite the fact that she's on there hammering on CBS in her book, they'd be smart enough that it'd be a ratings blitz.
Yeah.
And they're sour grapes, they're idiots. They're
60 Minutes, she could do 60 Minutes.
She could. She's been on 60 Minutes. I mean, she was an anchor there for a while. She
That's
could.
True. That's true. I forgot she was an anchor. Yeah. Yeah.
Let it go. And now her former nanny's coming out. I love nannies.
What are they about Katie? About how
Katie.
she was
just
a tyrant.
Yeah, that she couldn't have lived without her, and that Katie.
Okay.
This is ridiculous.
There's always a tyrant. Whatever it is. If it's not abuse, they're a tyrant.
Yeah. Anyway, Emily has written this book, and there's some more little snippets coming out about this book, and of course, it was first divulged on this show about the whole Robin Thicke situation. He was seen yesterday, and they were asking him questions through TMZ, and he didn't want everything. He's evidently got a fiance now. I'm sure she's answering some questions about that. But anyway, it's super, super sad what this woman has gone through, because when she was born, they knew she was going to be a model. I mean, like when she popped out, they're like, wow, this is a beautiful baby. And she is, and I'll get through some of the excerpts because I don't want to get too deep into it. But basically, since she was like 9, she was being groomed into being this model, and she did a lot of it because of her mom and dad, and they kept telling her how beautiful she was, and they were right. She was beautiful, and they kept telling her, wow, this is a gift, and this is what you were here for, and blah, 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 blah. And next thing you know, she's showing up at 12-year-old things at school, and they're telling her, not even beauty pageants, but they're telling her, hey, listen, you can't wear that to school. You look too good in that. Those kind of things. So this girl's been through, and she's rich and famous. She got what she wanted, but now she's basically saying, I'm not sure this is really what I really want in my life. And she's still relatively young. The Blurred Lines video was her big break, and of course she's topless in it.
Does she do other modeling and other things?
Huh?
Is she a model? I mean, does she?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so she does.
Oh yeah. She's but I mean, it's like she basically says she's 30 years old.
Jeez, yeah.
She writes about the price of such beauty. Now, I read this and I'm like, poor baby. Oh. You're beautiful. You're a trillionaire. You got a killer body.
Not a trillionaire.
She reveals her family's fixations on her looks and how adults sexualized her at a very young age, and middle school teachers snapped her bra. It goes on and on and on and on.
That's terrible.
I mean, she has been traumatized. But yet there she is in every picture you see, she's standing there half naked.
Well, yeah.
Or she's topless.
Because you believe that that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. She talks about adoring boys standing on her lawn below her bedroom window when she was in high school.
Well, I did that. I mean, that's not it. Well, unless there was like 12 of them.
I mean, this girl was objectified from the minute she popped out of the
which is
womb.
super.
She talked about how guys checked her out almost at every store she went to, even before she was famous.
Right.
She talked about headshots, needles in the head. She goes on and on and on.
Needles like Botox?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeez. It's crazy. I mean, it's like a 30-page article.
Does she talk about her parents? Is she talking about her parents being supportive of her or driving her towards that?
Driving her towards that, but she never said she didn't want to do it.
Okay.
And she, like a lot of kids, we've done this show a million times, wanted to make her parents happy. She was super successful at it, so when they were telling her, hey, listen, you're really, really good at this, it was true. She was making money out of it.
But now she's 30 and she's going, is this what I really want out of my life?
Yeah, at 13, she was sent home from a dance after chaperones deemed her too sexy. Another time, her dad asked her not to dress like that just for tonight when she came downstairs wearing a pink lace top and a push-up bra. She remembered the shame and confusion she felt when her older cousin came rushing back into the living room after leaving Ratajkowski there with a male friend for a few minutes. I was a child, but somehow already an expert in detecting male desire, even if I didn't completely understand what to make of it.
Yeah.
This is the modeling world pushed Ratajkowski, who was shorter and bigger busted than most high school fashion models, to do catalog work or swimsuit and lingerie shoots, When she was in high school, a casting agent pointed in some close-ups of her with her mouth half closed and lips pursed and marveled and said, now this is the look. This is how we know this girl gets effed. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And you feel for her, but again, she's quite famous. So, but nothing from Thick on the whole cupping of the breast thing in the Blurred Lines video.
I mean, this is the when you throw money and fame at you, right? And you start off interested in it.
Yeah.
You throw money and fame at you. You get more and more validation. And for a long period of time, you kind of believe you are good at it. You believe that this is what you want to do because other people are saying how good it is. There's a lot of validation and reinforcement, right? And it gets caught up, and you do get to a point, particularly at 30 in modeling, you're not necessarily at the end of your career. But
no, she's still there.
I know, but you've been in it, right? You've been in it, and
she was 9 years old,
right? And so you get to this point, going, "Wait, is this what I want to do?"
Well, the good thing for her,
she got money.
If she's got money, and she's 30 years old, and if she wants to change what she's doing now, she can do it and have no problems doing it.
That's right.
She could take that risk right now and say, "I want to open up a biscuit shop, or go start a brand new business of her own." She's got the name. She's got the book that's coming out. So she's got everything, the table set for her. So if she doesn't want to pose, it's amazing, though, how comfortable she is in her own skin. I mean, she has no problem. I mean,
well, we think she is. I mean, what I'm saying is, look at the way she is, but she's been groomed, or she has a lot of experience in that.
I mean, when your first gig, it's like Ned Beatty. His first acting job was in, I mean, and it's like, hey, Ned, this is your first acting job, and okay, in it, you're going to get raped in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
And he was like, really? Your first acting job? That's what I'm going to be playing in my first acting? I'm like, yeah, do you want it? And he's like, yeah, because I want to be an actor. And so he did, and Ned Beatty obviously had an illustrious career. In her particular case, the first thing she ever did big for money was, okay, you're going to be in a video. We need you to be topless for 18 hours today. And you're just going to be walking around on stage and blah, 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 blah. And by then, she was used to doing it. And so, whether she was comfortable or not, she certainly looked comfortable. But it's really interesting because I'll be interested to see how many more models. We objectify, we talked the whole thing yesterday about the U.S. women's soccer team and the Australian things and how we objectify. And it was funny because I was listening to a song. It wasn't on our station, although we play a lot of classic rock songs I did the AC/DC show last night, and I played like 14 songs, and I think 11 of them mentioned something about how hot a woman was. Mm-hmm. There was a whole lot of Rosie, or where the girls got rhythm, or she's hot. I mean, every single one of their songs, Let's Get It Up, was something about a woman and how hot she was. We objectify women from the minute you're born. We've always done that. Mm-hmm. That's the world we live in. And as long as we have enough women like Emily Ratajkowski who's willing to walk around butt naked, it's going to be easier to do. It's not to say that they deserve to be objectified. We must respect them. We always talk about the woman who works out her body and she wants to look nice in her clothes. Right. And so she wears low-cut stuff, and we're like, well, how are we not supposed to look? How are we not supposed to objectify that? Because then our lizard brain part of our man part comes out.
So you're playing this every morning?
No, it's just good television. It's a great documentary.
That's right. No, but I think you're seeing the pushback's not the right word. I think you're seeing the tide change a little bit.
It depends on whether you want to be objectified or not. And I'll use the OnlyFans platform as an example. Every time, don't look at me. You don't stare at me. I can be in a contest. I can be in a beauty pageant. I can do whatever I want. But I want to be known as more than just a beautiful face.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
that's why beauty pageants have the sort of knowledge content and the talent content.
Yeah, but they control their narrative. If that's what they're telling us, then I have to respect that, and I do. But at the same time, it's the pork chop underwear scenario for me.
What it is? Is it the Jordache commercial? Don't hate me because I'm beautiful.
Yeah,
you remember that?
Yeah, because a lot of women want to be objectified. Well, sure they do.
What do you mean? Okay, so what do you mean by objectified? What do you mean by
They want people to pay subscription rates to see them naked. That's objection. That's objectified.
So do men not want that?
Do men not want to be objectified? Oh, men love to be objectified.
But we can't.
I know. We love it. We mentioned that video, the thing, and I watched it again, by the way, the paint video. We should post that.
So
but I don't want to help that woman. I'm watching the video. It's a paint video, and the woman's sitting there, and she's got yoga pants on. She's got a low, it's not really low cut, but the way she's sitting on the floor, and she's doing paint. And so I watched it again because you were surprised I didn't comment on her boobs. And because I was trying to be an adult. And I thought you really thought it was beautiful. And
No,
so I was
the paint thing was super cool because I was going to try it at home.
I showed it to my daughter. She didn't give a rat's ass.
Well, because she's got video games.
Yeah, but she loves art.
Okay.
And so I'm watching the video, and then I realized when I watched the video again, the dude had half the painting, but he made sure his girlfriend or his wife's boobs were in every shot.
And she didn't know that. I mean, she didn't
Do
necessarily.
you think she didn't know? Because she watched the video, and if you're watching the video, you're realizing, hey, you missed half the painting here, but yet there was my breast bulging out over the top of this painting thing. So, I mean, as geeky as he was, hey, Pam saying hello. And then I read the comments, and the comments were classic. I mean, did you read the comments?
No.
Oh, dude.
About her boobs?
75% of them didn't see a piece of the artwork, but nice knockers. And they were pretty good. I mean, there wasn't any really, really nasty ones.
Yeah.
But they're like, please make another piece of art. And please wear that top again.
I think that's what I was struggling.
And she was getting off on it. She liked it. She knew what she was doing.
That's what I was struggling with it because it was interesting art. Like, this is what I was struggling with as I was watching it.
Yeah.
I saw it came up on my feed.
Sure did.
And it came up on, and actually, I think the comment that came up was, I couldn't stop watching this.
And I know why.
Well, but I didn't know why, so I looked and I started watching. And in the beginning, I'm like, okay, this is cool, paint.
And it took her 9 minutes to do an art project that could probably take about a minute and a half.
Well, that part was obvious.
And people were like, stop talking and pour the damn paint on it.
That was obvious. That part was super obvious.
And
look, I'm gonna put it's red. I'm gonna put the red in. Okay, wait, hang on. I'm gonna put some blue.
Oh, wait till we spin it. Wait till we spin it. Yeah, it's you want to reach through the phone and grab her by the throat by the end of it.
Just spin the damn thing.
But thank goodness she's showing the boobs.
Well, that's exactly.
So I think they knew what they were doing there.
It was a nice combination.
But here lies to get back to our point.
It's his fault.
Here lies the point. Women can be objectified whenever they want to be objectified. And then they can turn that off. In other words, like a woman could dress to the nines and know that she's going to be objectified and looked upon. Now, you don't get to control whether you're being objectified. It's based on what you're wearing, because some guys are going to look at you and go, what a beautiful intellectual woman, while she's very attractive. And other guys are just going to look at your body like this painting thing, right? Mm-hmm. Guys can't do that.
Why can't we? Yeah, we can.
The only way we can is to have six-pack abs.
Well, yes.
And be very, very handsome. But we can't. If I'm posting a picture, there's nothing I can show you skin-wise.
Yes, you can.
No, I can't.
Yes, you
Not
can.
Objectified like a woman can be.
No, but listen.
I even asked you, is there a way for me to do like the ghost thing where they had the spindle and they stand? Is there a way for me to sit with my legs open, making some type of painting, because it's not sexy?
No, but it is. But listen, that's not sexy.
Well, no,
that's weird.
I would have
gross.
to disagree with you.
But think about the iconic movies. The Matthew McConaughey's would take the shirt off and the six-pack abs and the Top Gun, and they're playing on the beach. And I definitely think it's different. But I think the guy who either is working out and is glistened and ripped, that's one. You can contrast that. The guy who's dressed to the nines, super nice suit, in great shape, beautiful looking guy. I mean, men absolutely can be objectified by women, and I think women do. I think women look at men.
Just not nearly as much. When you walk into a Buffalo Wild Wings, there's about 20 women in there you can objectify. There may not be one dude.
Well, but that's because...
there's a lot more...
But that's because... So what? But whose fault is that? That's like because we're a bunch of schlumps.
Exactly. And that's what makes us different. And so women have to deal with that.
Right.
It's kind of like women will sit there and say, I can't believe no one's looking at me. I can't believe no one's looking at me. And then when people are looking at them, then they want to be known for more than just their looks. And I'm like, wait a minute, you can't. No. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being truthful.
I think there's
I'm being truthful here.
No, I think there's a
So
difference.
women get to pick the times when they're objectified.
But I think there's a difference between being seen as attractive
and I'm not saying objectified is bad.
Yeah, because that's the word. I'm getting hung up on the word.
Yeah,
You're getting
because
hung up on the word.
objectified primarily is considered a bad thing.
Well, yes,
If you're being objectified, you're being looked upon for not the entire package, right?
right. But if you want, but you're absolutely right. If a woman walks in and she's beautiful,
Yep.
and I think this is the problem. This is the problem. Looking at noticing a beautiful person.
Yeah.
Because again, I've been in places where a guy will walk in. He's a great looking guy, and women are like, "Oh my God, do you see him?" Right. So that in that way, it's not different. I think the problem is, and maybe we don't understand this as men. We're looking at this beautiful woman, and we're attracted to her beautiful looks. Mm-hmm. Now, for some guys, we just leave it at that. We're leaving it at that. She's beautiful. Blah, 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 she's on. The problem is we got a whole lot of other guys that, oh my God, I'd like to get in her pants, and it goes down to that. Yeah. I would argue. I'd wonder. There's women have got to be in the same sets of groups, right? There's the women that say, look at him. What a good-looking guy. He's got great muscles, and then moves on.
Yeah.
There's another woman's like, man, I'd like to have him tonight.
Yeah.
So it's not.
It happens, but not nearly as much. 1,000 times more so men because men's brains work a little
brains
different.
And
we're like, oh my gosh, there's a pair of boobs.
Well, that's exactly.
Oh.
That's exactly. Doesn't anything that's got a pair of boobs?
Yeah.
Anything. Oh,
yeah.
We're like our criteria is pathetically low.
I think about a woman like Paige Spiranac. She's the former LPGA golfer.
Yes. Yeah.
Who now has a fairly successful podcast. Super sexy, has posted all these pictures of her. I mean, she's just killer. She knows she's objectified, but she's smart about it. She realizes she's had calendars. She realizes there's that group of guys that only want to see her for her incredible body, yet she was semi-successful in the LPGA. Now she has taken that, and she has taken her beauty, and she has turned it into this successful podcast. And by the way, she just hit a hole-in-one. She was playing golf with Gary Player in a Pro-Am the other day and hit a hole-in-one, which was, I mean, what are the chances, right? And so she got a ton of views on that.
Sharapova.
So she's... Yeah, I mean women who are really beautiful and who know they're objectified, but also they know there's a lot more left in the tank in some other intellectual or sports or athletic kind of thing.
It's an FU.
Really have it going on. In an Emily Ratajkowski situation, and I hope I'm saying her name right, in her situation, she's purely objectified because that's all she is.
And she's saying it. I mean, to me, the sad part is this is the beauty pageant, 6-year-old beauty pageant. What was the great murder?
JonBenet Ramsey?
Yeah. This is the 6-year-old beauty pageant, sort of groomed, beautiful, but groomed to go that route.
Yeah.
And as I said, that's the same thing as what I'm saying is when you're a young kid and you're getting all this validation and adulation around it, look at you, you're amazing, and blah, blah, blah. And the difference is, and this is why they definitely have made changes in beauty pageants. There's a talent part. There's an intellectual part. Yep. But yeah, you think about guys. Where do we get the adulation? Where do we get the validation? It's either in essentially sports, some sort of art, the arts, or intellect. That's it. And even in the intellect, we get slammed because it's the nerds, right? Yep. We don't have, oh my God, he's a beautiful little boy.
Well, and let me, you're clarifying my point, and I think what we're both trying to agree to here is women can use their bodies as a profession, much more so than men can. When I say a model, who do you think of? You're not thinking about the GQ model, the guy who's on the Christian Dior perfume bottle.
You're not.
You're talking about, but for the most part, when you talk about a model, 99 out of 100 people will say a female. What kind of model? A female model, right? Women have turned that. If you get into modeling, there are 10,000 to 1 women to men in the modeling industry. There are male models, but not many. I don't know. I know 50.
Well, you don't know about, but think about but hang on. I think about we don't know about them. But just think about what they're modeling. There's definitely a huge cadre of men because all the men who model men's clothes.
But there's not many. I mean, a Men's Warehouse commercial.
Well, that doesn't count.
I know, but I mean, when you're talking about men models, I would bet that there are 10,000 to 1 women to men in the modeling industry.
Why? Because there's more women's clothes?
No, because that is something that is more alluring. because not only do men like to look at good-looking women, but women like to look at women because they want to emulate that and look like that. That's why we know women dress for other women.
No, but I'm not following you because there's men.
It's an industry, is what I'm saying. The modeling industry. Yeah, I got 2 friends right now who have daughters who are 16 that want to get their.
Right.
They're doing the whole glamour shot things
Right.
for their daughters to send off to these modeling agencies, and I'm like, great, and they got the look, but every 16-year-old at every school's got the look, right? But you don't ever hear a father sending off pictures of his 16-year-old son. Never going to happen. It'll never will.
But it does. Because how do we get
At
these,
a much.
But how did we get all the male models?
There's outliers and everything. They're discovered.
Okay.
I'm just saying that's not a career choice for most men. For most men, there's not a. If you go through a list of things that a woman can do, there's NASCAR driver, there's farmer. Modeling is one of the 50 things that women would love to do.
But
modeling's not one of the 50 things that guys do. First of all, guys who are models are considered pussies, and
what are you doing? Like, you're going down this weird route. That's not true.
No, I'm trying to make sense of why women are objectified much more than men are. Well, first of all, there's a lot more good-looking women on this earth than there are men. That's why you have so many ugly dudes with good-looking gals.
Yes, I'm with you there.
Right? I mean, seriously, there are
because society has not asked men.
Hey, poor ladies, I feel for you.
This is the peg to patriarchy.
Women have to settle. Women have to settle.
This is the patriarchy. This is the peg to patriarchy. This is the idea that this society was sort of created and modified by men. And listen, if you're going to paint the rules,
go there, yeah.
If I'm going to paint the rules, I'm going to go, yeah, you know what? In order for me to be powerful and accepted and attractive, I'm going to put the bar really low so that I don't have to worry in case my hair falls out or whatever. But you're right. But the part that I'm struggling with is just look at all of the things that we see on TV and in magazines and whatever of men modeling. There's tons of it. Now, I understand what you're saying, that it may not be a career aspiration, but there are tons of men who model.
Yeah, but most men who model are doing the tucked in commercials or the untucked commercials.
No.
When you see guys doing commercials, they're not all Fabio looking models. There's not enough. There's not many of those. There's just not. There's not many of those models, but there are women all over the place.
Okay, now listen.
Like we're watching the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders making a season.
I agree with you there.
There ain't no Chippendale shows.
So what you're saying is there are fewer high-end. There are fewer male models, and they're doing more different things. There's a greater volume.
Do you know a male model?
Well, I don't know personally.
Do you know any male models?
Go watch.
I know 50 female models.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is you don't know their names, but turn on the TV. Any male that you see that is showing off clothes, showing off perfume or cologne, that is a male model.
But I don't see many of those commercials at all.
Oh, geez.
I don't see those commercials. And if I do, it's some schlup for a car commercial or something. I'm not saying there's not. If you're talking about the difference between a model and an actor, okay?
Okay.
There's guys who, obviously, if you're going to be acting, it's helpful to be somewhat good-looking and slim and be able to fit the piece that they're looking for.
Well, it's on McConaughey,
but that doesn't make them. That doesn't make them.
They all started modeling.
Yeah, I would bet you there's 10,000 to 1 women models there are the men models. And again, that's another reason, because if you're a model, you must be attractive and you're being objectified because you're getting that role. That's why, Josh, at the age of 40, women aren't in movies.
Well, playing
because they lose the look.
Well, unless they're playing.
And guys get the look because we get more distinguished and we can play the part. We're actors. We're actors.
Right.
That's why. So there's no doubt that women are objectified much more than men are. I just think the storyline here is really interesting in that women who want to be objectified.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden they decide, I don't want to be objectified anymore. And I'm like, well, you've kind of put it out there, and all of a sudden you want us to know you as a rocket scientist.
Well, but if you are.
Yeah. Well, you've already gone there. It's kind of like the stripper who wants to become a high school teacher.
Listen, the Dallas Cowboy show. If you watch the Dallas Cowboy show.
They don't mind being objectified.
No. But at the same time, a good number of them.
I'm not saying it's bad.
A good number of them, not all of them, they've got their undergraduate degree in physics.
Yeah.
Right? Some are going to go to medical school. Mm-hmm. So it's. I just have a hard time with it. I have a hard time with us as men
And we don't like that.
We can't shift. Like I don't look. If there is a rock, look, she's married. I know her. She's a friend. But I'm going to use Ashley Gann, one of our local meteorologists.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful mom, married. She's got like 4 kids, right? She's a meteorologist, and she's a rocket scientist. But she's one of the smartest.
Yeah.
She's unbelievable. Well, when I look at her, and maybe this is just me, yes, she's attractive. She's very attractive. But I'm not only looking at that. Now, granted, if she's in a bar and I didn't know anything about her, we all do that. But it's the same thing for guys. Women don't go into a bar and look for the unattractive guys and go, he's unattractive, but I bet there's something underneath. It's the same thing.
There's just not many of them.
You're right.
I can't remember the last time.
That's why
I'm sure women look just as much as men do.
That's why you're going to be great.
Conspicuous and better at it. But very rarely have I ever been in a room where, because I notice good-looking guys too.
I do too. And
I'll look at guy. I go, wow,
that guy's good.
He's a good-looking dude.
Yep.
I did that with the quarterback for the Raiders the other night, Carr. I mean, that dude's a good-looking dude.
That's right.
I'm like, I can look at Aaron Rodgers and go, yeah, cut your hair. Or Tom Brady, good-looking guy.
Yeah, Tom Brady's a great example.
Guy, attractive Tom Brady. Guy. If I was gay, I'd go after Tom Brady.
Tom Brady could be a model.
Absolutely. And I think you could consider him a model. He's probably gotten modeling contracts. Yeah. And he's with Gisele Bundchen, who is a model.
Yeah.
But there's 10 Gisele Bundchens for every Tom Brady. Very rarely do I ever see a guy walk into a bar and go, holy crap, he's going to get whatever he wants.
Yeah.
It just doesn't happen. But I can see a woman walk in every 3 minutes and go, she could get any guy in the place. Now, maybe because guys are just doofuses and we'll take whatever we get. That's what I'm telling you about.
But
there are many more good-looking women than there are guys on this earth. I don't care what.
If women would say that, though. Because, we're heterosexual males, so we're going.
I bet you Misty Smith would say yes. Pickings are slim.
Yeah.
But
when women say that there's better-looking women.
Oh, yeah. I would hope, because there is.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's not. And you can say, well, looks are subjective, though. What you find attractive, I may not find attractive. Right, whatever. True. No, you don't.
That's true.
If I see a good-looking girl, I can promise you every guy in the room thinks she's attractive.
So why is there such slumpy-looking men?
Because we don't have to do it.
Yeah.
we don't have to.
It's terrible.
As long as we got a good job and we're funny, we can get in your pants. Listen, I mean, it's sad. It really is.
It is. Well, this is why you're going to do great out here. Because you're a good-looking guy. You're in good shape.
That. Oh, well, I try.
You're going to have to start doing some push-ups.
Yeah.
But you're good. I mean, listen, I've always said this. I say this to my male clients who are trying to lose weight or be more fit or whatever. And I use this analogy all the time. I'm like, look, dude, you're 40 years old or whatever. You're 40, 42. The bar is so freaking low. I always say this. Go out to a pool. You're 42 years old. Scan the pool for men.
Yeah.
And look at guys who you're pretty sure are close to your age.
Yeah.
At least half, if not more, are going to be overweight, hairy backs, right? So my argument to my male clients is, dude, just work out a little bit. You're going to stand head and shoulders above everybody.
I know, right?
Just by being reasonably fit.
Reasonably fit. You can be 15 pounds overweight and you still look good compared to every other schmuck.
See how easy it is? All right, guys. Look, we got.
You ever ask? I've asked this question to.
This is what I love about our show. Where the hell are we going with all this?
I've asked this to a million different guys. If you were a smoking hot woman, what would you do?
You'd be working.
And every one of my friends would go, I'd be such a slut. I would be.
See, but that's because
I laugh, and I'm like, no, you wouldn't.
Male brain.
Yeah,
right.
You got a male brain and a female body. No, you wouldn't. You're like, oh, dude, if I look like her, we're playing golf the other day, right? And there was a cart girl.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, every guy. This girl must have made $1 million in tips.
Because
there was another one that wasn't so good looking, and she was just, you guys need anything? We got something from the other cart girl. Okay, and guys were waving her down from 3 holes over, and she was a cart girl at Highland Golf Course. And someone said, man, if I looked like that, I would be such a slut. And I'm like, no, you wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
Because you'd have a girl's brain.
Right, you'd be worried about your looks.
Yeah.
You'd be making sure you're in good shape. You'd be worried that men are that men are like objectifying you.
Yeah.
Right? You'd be trying to balance. Here's the other thing. Because I think this is a big issue. You're trying to balance that. It's almost a triad between I want to look good for myself, right? I want to look good for myself.
Yeah.
I want to look good out in public, but I also don't want to be not objectified, but looked at as an object, as a piece of meat.
Yeah.
As a guy, we don't even think about, like, do you ever think about that?
About us being objectified?
No, just that whole thing. How should do I want to look good for me? Do I want to look good for the rest of the world? Am I worried that people will look at me a certain way?
No, I think I just want to make sure my clothes fit and then I look presentable. And
That's it. That's like, yeah, it's like that you don't
then
stink.
guys are comfortable enough, but that's also kind of a turn on, I think, for some people.
For who?
That we are comfortable in our own skin, that we're okay with it. That's where the whole dad bod came in play. It's
Yeah.
okay, guys. You can look like that. No, it's not.